How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to talk about using a hot glue gun to make candle drips, much like this. So you can see we got this nice little podium. It's going to be like a tome or a book in the middle, 2 candles on the side. It's going to look really nice, but we want to add these candle drips on the podium so it looks even more themed and more correct to the storytelling. So I'm gonna get into how to do this with a glue gun. You don't need a fancy glue gun. A simple craft glue gun will work. If you have a big glue gun, it'll work faster, but it's a little stop and go. So it does take some tedious time, but once you get it going, it creates this really nice effect. And then we're gonna paint the glue at the end to make it the same color as the candles, because hot glue will dry clear or a whitish clear. So let's get into it and show you how to make your own candle drips using hot glue. When you're hot gluing these, it's really good to keep your hot glue gun really hot. You might have to do a little stop and go, but as you can see, you want to pool it all in one area so it drips down the sides. Now that effect will create this nice dripping candle effect. If you do too wide of strokes and keep a thin glue line, it's not going to do that. You really want to pinpoint one location and just put as much glue there as you can so it dribbles over the edges, and then of course hardens. Now you do have to allow time for both your glue gun to heat back up as well as that area to dry, because if you try to put stuff on top of hot glue already, it's all gonna just smush together. So you wanna let it dry and then layer it. As you build up the different layers of glue, it's important to know when you're gluing the hot glue, keep it in one area and let gravity do the work. Now you can go up that same line to make it thicker, but it's always better to go from the top and let gravity pull that glue down, and it'll give it the most natural look. From there, on the flat surface, you can add pools of glue to look like extra candle wax. Now, of course, when layering, always let your glue dry, and then you can add more piles to the top and let that drip down the edges. It took a few days, but we got all this glue here, creating those drips for the candles. So we want to actually paint this so it matches a little better. Obviously, in the dark, you would think it won't matter that much, but we went ahead and tested it in the dark with the lights, and fortunately, because this glows from the LED light, because of the Luminara effect, you really need to match that. We're gonna mix some paint these up, and then it will look white the way it should. A dash of yellow and orange, because that'll give it that manila-like visual. Now, when I paint this, I wanna do this kind of in sections as these blobs lay. You want to be very careful around the edges so you don't have like weird paint lines, but then you also don't want to do all of these because of course varying candles might be various different colors, so you don't have to paint the whole thing because then there will be no contrast. So as you paint, just be aware of what you want to paint and go at it. Now when you're painting these, if you get yourself a filbert brush, kind of a round tipped filbert brush, you should be able to just stroke very carefully right up that drip. And it's all done in one stroke. That's it. That's all it takes. Just like that. One little stroke. Right up, making sure you get the sides as well. This one, same thing. And as you can see, I'm not really brushing this on. I'm kind of stippling it. This way it doesn't look like brush strokes so much. Make sure to take your time when painting. If you rush this, it could get a little sloppy, and that's when you're gonna go over the edges and start just painting around, and then it'll just look like it's painted on. So be careful, take it slow, and it'll look really nice. As you can see, I am not painting all of these little sprigs because there might be different candles. Just because the one candle matches this doesn't mean other candles that might have been burning on this podium are the same. So giving them some contrast and some variety also helps sell the illusion. When applying your paint, you might need to do a couple layers to make sure that brush strokes are evened out, as well as it isn't too clear and see-through. As you can see from the before and after, just the plain glue versus the painted glue, it looks a lot better and pulls together the whole theme of it really nice. There it is. There are the candle drips now painted. We did a little touch-ups, tried to get it so the brush strokes were all evenly dispersed and smoothed out. And as you can see, all lit up with the candles and then the book on it. It looks really fabulous in all of that haunt lighting. And this would also be a great stage piece. So if you learned something and want to know more about DIY and theatrical scenic creation, hit that subscribe button. My name again is Ryan Lehman, and I hope you enjoyed it, learned something, and we'll see you in pictures.